name is Kathy, and today I'll be continuing the course on music theory. But before I do, I wanted to tell you that because I have a great many videos now on many different topics, that I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. This course breaks itself up into three major parts. The first part is basic music theory. The second part is arranging music, and the third part is music composition. In this lesson, we will continue learning about basic music theory. In this lesson, we will learn about intervals. An interval is the distance between two notes or pitches, or how much higher or lower one note is than another. There are two types of intervals. When an interval is played together, it is called a harmonic interval. And when the two notes of the interval are played one after the other, it is called a melodic interval. Scientists usually describe the difference between two pitches in terms of the difference between their frequencies. Musicians find it more useful to talk about intervals can be described using half steps and whole steps, or tones and semitones. For example, you can say B natural is a half step below C natural, or E flat is a half step and a half above C natural. But when we talk about larger intervals in the major-minor scale system, there is a more convenient way to name them. And naming the interval is to find the distance between the notes as they are written on the staff. Count every line and every space in between the notes, as well as the lines or spaces that the notes are on. This gives you the number for the interval. In our first example, we have the interval of a third. The second example shows the interval of a sixth. Note that at this stage, key signature, clef, and accidentals do not matter at all. The simple intervals are 1 octave or smaller. The compound intervals are larger than an octave. Let's do some practice work with intervals. On your manuscript pad, name these intervals. I will provide the answers so that you can check your work. And here are the answers so that you can check your work. In this exercise, write a note that will give the named interval. I will provide the answers so that you can check your work.
And here are the answers so that you can check your work. So far, the actual distance in half steps between the two notes has not mattered. But a third made up of 3 half steps sounds different from a third made up of 4 half steps. And so a fifth made up of 7 half steps sounds very different from one of only 6 half steps. So in the second step of identifying an interval, clef, key signature, and accidentals become important so that you can get an exact name for the interval. So the second step to naming an interval is to classify it based on the number of half steps in the interval. To find the exact name of the interval, the major scale of the lower note of each interval is used to find this. In this example, we have the scale of C major with the tonic note written under each note of the scale, showing the intervals that occur above the note C. The exact name for the second, third, sixth, and seventh shown in the example is major, because the upper note of each one belongs to the scale of C major. This rule holds true for all major scales. The remaining intervals are the prime intervals, or the first, the fourth, and the fifth, and the octave. The exact names for these are found in the same way as the major intervals, but these ones are called perfect. You might ask, what makes these particular intervals perfect? The physics of sound waves, or acoustics, shows us that the notes of a perfect interval are very closely related to each other. Because they are so closely related, they sound particularly good together, a fact that has been noticed since at least the times of classical Greece, and probably even longer. Because they sound so closely related to each other, they have been given the name perfect intervals. Here are the musical terms to memorize for this week. Allegro means fast. Vivo or vivace means lively and brisk. Grazioso means gracefully. Animato means lively with animation.
I have a great many videos now on many different topics, and so I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.